right now, it's pretty quiet in our church. Sanctuary is empty. The kitchen usually has Twileen and Betty cooking and kids running around the fellowship hall. Students upstairs playing cards or throwing chickens or burritos. It's usually much busier. But right now, it's very quiet. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. We're going to talk about a story today where a young man named Samuel, he was about 12 years old, and he was in a church too. But it was very late at night, and it was very quiet. And because of those things, he had an opportunity to be something amazing. And it all began with a quiet moment in the sanctuary. So let's jump in. We're going to be in 1 Samuel chapter 3 and start in verse 1. Now the boy Samuel was ministering to the Lord in the presence of Eli. And the word of the Lord was rare in those days. There was no frequent vision. At the time, Eli, whose eyesight had begun to grow dim so that he could not see, was lying down in his own place. And the lamp of God had not yet gone out. And Samuel was lying down in the temple where the ark of God was. Then the Lord called Samuel, and he said, "Here I am." And he ran to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." But he said, "I did not call you. Go lay down again." So he went and lay down. And the Lord called again, "Samuel." And Samuel rose and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." But he said, "I did not call. My son, lie down again." Now Samuel did not know the Lord and the word of the Lord, and had not yet been revealed to him. And the Lord called Samuel a third time, and he arose and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." Then Eli perceived that the Lord was calling the boy. Therefore Eli said to Samuel, "Go lie down. If he calls you, you shall say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant hears.'" So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood, calling as the other times, "Samuel, Samuel." And Samuel spoke to the Lord, "Speak, for your servant hears." Now in those few words, "Speak, for your servant hears," that was like the acceptance of new, the acceptance of exciting, of change, of a mission. Speak, for your servant hears. Up until that moment, he did not have a relationship with the Lord. The word and what it meant had not yet been revealed to him. Like he didn't quite get it. He was in the church, but he didn't have a relationship. I worry that there's a lot of people in our church that are this way. They're in here and they come here every week, but there's not a real relationship to be had. So maybe this is your moment. Sitting in the quiet of our new lives that are vastly different than what it was. What would happen if we said, "Speak, Lord, for I am listening"? What would happen if we sat in the quiet and waited on the Lord? Waited to hear the mission. What do you have for me? When we can go back out and go back to school or go back to our clubs, what kind of person am I going to be when I go back? Will I be the same person I was? Or will I be more? Will I have the Lord on my side? You'll see later in this chapter, as the Lord builds this relationship with Samuel, Samuel grows up to become someone who is known as the prophet of the Lord. Someone who knows the Lord, hears the Lord, and people believe that he has a relationship with him. It is evident in the person that he is. Can people say that about us? About our church? About our youth group? Can people see them and know? Can they see you and know? You're a servant of the Lord. you spent time with him. Maybe in some quiet moment, you accepted his gift of a relationship. If this is something that you want to know more about, please let me know. I would love to talk to you about how you can have a relationship with the Lord. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect walking right out into tomorrow. Like, I'm going to call Stephanie today and we're going to chat and then I'll be perfect. Nothing will ever go wrong again starting tomorrow or right after that conversation. It's not how it works. We're going to stumble and fall along the way. But in every one of those stumbles, the Lord is going to be there to help pick us back up, to guide us again. And each time that we get a little bit lost, all we have to do is sit in our quiet and say, "Speak, Lord. I am listening," and begin again. Do you need that? Do you need to hit a restart button on what you've got going on with your life? I want to help. Let me know if there is something that we can do for you here at Faith Fellowship to help guide you on your walk. Do you need a Bible to sit and listen with? Do you need a friend to confess to? Do you need to accept the Lord and be baptized as you follow him? Or maybe you just need a church family. We would love to be any of those things for you and help you in any way that we can. It's literally why we have this building. Everything that we are doing here is so that you can have and can grow in a relationship with the Lord, and that together we can be on mission. Man, I hope to hear from you. I hope to help in any way that I can. Can't wait to see you guys again. I do enjoy the quiet, but I also enjoy fellowship with you guys. And I would give anything just to sit and play a game of Uno and hear all about the things that y'all did today, this week, or how your shelter at home has been. We're going to have an after party tonight at 7. If you want the Zoom code to get in and the password, hey, send me a message. You can find me at FFBC Students on Instagram, and those messages go right to my phone, so I'll see it right away and we'll get you plugged in. See you soon, guys. Bye.